Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 23 of our Let's Learn series for Victoria 3, where we're playing Serbia, of course, and we have just made it to 1909, having unified, finally on our third attempt, unified northern and southern Serbia. Gonna go ahead and unpause at a slow speed. Yeah, and the task is now, clearly ahead of us. Then that is to integrate southern Serbia. So I'm going to pause again. We have 10 weeks left to incorporate. We started off, I think, with like about 2 years. So we've actually won the war against the Ottomans 2 years ago, but we're almost done incorporating. And what that does is that it will actually allow us to tax these pops. So states that are fully integrated into our countries, pops in incorporated states pay taxes, gain access to benefits from institutions, and we do have some welfare benefits. We have poor laws enacted, participate in fully in the country's political system. So let's see how that affects our interest groups. That would be interesting, but we have no choice, right? We don't want to. We can't just sit here and not incorporate 1 million of our Serbian brothers. Unincorporated states can be incorporated through a sometimes lengthy process. Yep, and we have built some government administration in northern Serbia, and we're building another district, another level or tier, whatever you want to call it, of government administration. Still hiring in this one because we're going to need a lot of administration for this extra 1 million Serbs are about to join our nation. Unfortunately, population is coming down, although I think that's mostly due to migration. Yeah, 13,000 migration. That is really quite bad. Unfortunately, it must be because we're discriminating against Sunnis. I would assume it's them who are migrating. It's a real shame. Hopefully we'll attract them back. We're likely to stay part of the Austro-Hungarian market for a while. We'll see. We're getting net plus 4,500, but minus 13.7 thousand here. Patch 1.5.10 has also been released. It does look like the game is working. Gelling well with that patch. There have been some changes that I won't, necessarily go over, like every single patch note, but it's just some balancing changes. We'll see how they affect or not, our playthrough. But we have 26 years left, so let's see. Let's see if potentially we might actually be able to finally get Montenegro and Bosnia as well, but that will take some time. And in any case, we have a truce with the Ottomans for 5 years, probably about 3 years left, so we're gonna have to just see about that. Let's go ahead and keep unpausing. Artillery input goods shortage. We're building plenty of artillery though. Okay, let's see. Austro-Hungarians are finally fighting the Italians, because the Italians want to get back parts of, they want to get Lombardy, they want to get Venetia and South Tyrol. So it's quite risky for us to attack the Ottomans when we did, which was about, 3 years ago from this point. But you see, the Italians finally did engage with Austria-Hungary, so this is actually a good time. If so, diplomacy, truce with the Serbs, where are we? 3 years left, so 1912, 28th of August 1912 is when our truce runs out. We'll see. Okay, but before we do that, let's just, artillery and ammunition is costing us a fortune. What's going on? And small arms as well. Wow, but we have our own industry for all of this. Hang on. Yeah, because we're in the Austrian market, they're clearly just upgraded. They certainly did something. Like, we cannot afford. This is kind of the drawback of being in a big market, right? That we see we've only benefited so far from being first part of the Ottoman market and then part of the Austro-Hungarian market. But right now it's kind of coming back to us. Where's the arms industries? Okay, 40%. On the other hand, however, again, there's this choice always that, yes, we could just change the production method, but then our shopkeepers would become capitalists. Not necessarily a bad thing at this point, so I keep switching between pausing and unpausing. I keep unpausing speed 1, just to keep things ticking along. Not necessarily a bad thing. I think at this point, we could, there is scope to start moving towards industrialists, kind of towards a more modern society. Although, I mean, this setup has worked very well for us. Is there any need? We're not going to switch to theocracy. That's a bit, a step more medieval than monarchy, I think. Manor wars, okay, it doesn't really matter to us. But let's try and actually maybe let's have a look. Sulfur again. No, nowhere to import sulfur from. Yeah, I was gonna say on the other hand, once we incorporate perhaps southern Serbia, we could potentially, because we have 178,000 peasants in here, we could actually build up some industry there, right? And the choices here are pretty straightforward. Now, our private sector is already building railways in southern Serbia. That's good. Two countries will get connected. On the other hand, though, like incurring a minus 20,000 deficit, that's just crazy. This is like, we kind of need to do something about that. Otherwise, we'll just spiral completely out of control. To be really honest, like we don't have time. We don't have time here. So I'm gonna pause again because this is actually pretty scary. That's it. We're going into debt now. We are going to incorporate these guys, so that will, give our budget a boost. However, we just cannot afford to pay these types of prices for like munition or any of this. Alright, for our like 60 battalions. So we could, we actually can't do anything about munitions factories other than just build more, right, which we can just queue up. However, with arms, I mean arms industries, okay, okay, perhaps let's see if this is temporary. Arms industries seem to have stabilized. Artillery is still a bit crazy. We could increase our output substantially. How's our steel mills? Reasonable price, reasonable. Okay, yeah, we are getting like good population growth. It's 45,000 per year. Okay, this is. No, I don't want to raise taxes past normal. Really, hoping that this is kind of temporary. We're spending 10,000 ammunition. 10,000. Okay, we're back to 6,000 for small arms. Oh, dearie me. Okay, well, population is finally growing. Okay, migration is slowing down. Excellent. Okay, let's see when we incorporate them. Let's have a look. So our poll taxes are 9,000. Income taxes are 9,500. Interesting. We're actually deriving more from income taxes than poll taxes now. But let's see. We should get a boost here. Be interesting to see tariffs minting. Investment pool transfer. Okay, that's all good. So 9 and 9,500. Let's see how that changes once we incorporate southern Serbia. It's good. 60. We have 60 battalions, right? As you recall, that it will be easier to maintain this army. This was a bit of a stretch, I would say, for one province. But now, hopefully, right, that gives us 3,000 power projection. So, to be honest, we're pretty strong. Oh, look at this, Russia. Americans landed in on the Black Sea. Dear me. Austria-Hungary is still fighting back. Oh, they're down to like 6,500. Not sure. I think the Italians are gonna win this one. Sulfur. Who has sulfur? Let's have a look. Buildings. Now Bosnia has lead. Oh, actually, what we really need, is we need lead. Oh, okay. Actually, our private sector has already put a lead mine in here, so that is very good. We have our own coal now. Okay. Okay, this seems to have calmed down a little bit. Yep, artillery is. Okay, it must have been a temporary surge. I don't know, maybe. Not sure what caused it, but I mean, definitely the war in Austria-Hungary. I'm just not sure why the surge was so sudden and so large. Clippers, doesn't bother us. We're not buying any Clippers from anyone. Let's see, incorporated state. Boom. Okay. Let's see. Will this change? It should change, right? It should change in a big way. Interesting, no? Doesn't really look like. Interesting. So they are incorporated now. States that are fully integrated into a country, pops in incorporated states, pay taxes, gain access to benefits from institutions. Okay, sorry, maybe I clicked on that too late. Maybe that was already incorporating that, but okay, fine. We're minting obviously a lot more investment pool. Okay. Government dividends. Is that from... Wow, actually our railways are profitable. Very interesting. No. Weekly balance. The subsidies required 860. Very interesting. Okay. Let's go buildings, construction. We're building another government administration, which, to be honest, doesn't really look like it's needed. So let's push that down. I was expecting a much bigger, to be honest, surge in bureaucracy. I'm not really sure what happened there. Let's have a look. Food industries, do we even need you still? Not so much. Okay, let's put the munitions plant up then. This is what we need. We need lead. Okay, let's build a munitions plant. That's a good one to build. Then we need lead mines. Yeah, so those are good things to build here. We are kind of, again, maxing on our infrastructure in northern Serbia, so buildings, another railway wouldn't hurt. Southern Serbia, oh, plenty of infrastructure. We should really be focusing our construction here. Right, livestock, coal. Okay, yeah, we have plenty of infrastructure here. Okay, maybe transportation is a bit expensive, but we need... Yeah, for services and transportation, we need urban centers. For urban centers, so if I'm really honest, I'm actually going to go ahead and prioritize the lead mines, then munitions plant. Then our private sector will also build a lead mine. That's good. And then we can do... Then we'll need, after a munitions plant, we'll need the railway in northern Serbia. And then we can build these. What would be nice... Would be nice actually even before any of this happens. I don't wanna... Doesn't look like we can afford another construction sector. However... God, these prices are still massive. We were able to easily afford this. Well, not easily, but I mean we're close. But we could afford this before the war broke out, right? So I don't understand. We didn't change any wages. Paper? How's paper doing? Is paper... No, paper is... fine, it's not very expensive at all. Okay, we could use more tools and more coal and release 9,000 laborers into our economy. But we have peasants. And we have these guys who can migrate. Shall they need to? Interesting. Okay, so not sure why it's really the extra 12,000 from this. Alright, artillery. Okay, small arms have come down. Yeah, they come back down. They're cheap now. Okay. Artillery, still a little pricey. Despite cheap inputs, frankly. Yeah, and it's munitions. Okay, we'll build another munitions plant. We'll build more lead. We're building 2 lead mines. So, okay. Let's see. Building lead here primarily also to just employ these peasants in a productive way. Not sure if these railways are really needed, to be honest. Let's have a look what else. Textile mills are doing fine. Right, we got silk, fabric. We could... Yeah, there's livestock ranches here in southern Serbia. Then meat, fabric, very cheap, fertilizer cheap. Grain is fairly priced. Okay, these guys are actually even giving some citrus and some sugar. What about here? About our food industries? Yeah, sugar is... everything is fine. Glass is expensive, okay. Glass is hiring. We need wood. Wood and dyes, so... okay, I was gonna check logging camps. Okay, so wood is quite expensive still. We love wood. Okay, yeah, okay, private sector is actually building some. Oops, I wouldn't like... okay, I'm actually gonna go ahead and do... just move up logging camps all the way up top. And then do lead mines. Just so there is like one lead mine built, then they maybe adjust. So we don't release like the entire thing at the same time. As in like don't release all the lead at the same time. It does take a while to build them. We kind of need... perhaps our construction sector. Just thinking we could... construction sector, we could switch it to this and just get more glass, but glass is expensive right now. Steel and explosives for steel frame buildings gives us another 5 construction here. Yeah, but glass is expensive and steel is... we need to reduce the price of glass and steel. Could also steam engine time completed. Excellent. Engines of progress. The manufacture of steam engines has become a profitable industry in northern Serbia thanks to our sound investment in locomotive technology. These engines are already being employed across new Serb railway lines. All aboard for Belgrade. Courtesy of the good folks at the Belgrade Steam Locomotive Company, getting out of Pristina had never been easier. The dining car is restricted to first-class passengers only. Stowaways will be prosecuted. Okay, all aboard. 10% railway throughput or more engines, more locomotives. Yeah, let's give it throughput to the industry because we just want to produce more, keep the price reasonable. Steel is expensive. Okay, we need steel mills. Okay, let's add these in. Hand-cracked machine gun unlocked. By using mechanical crank to rotate the barrel, it is possible to fire bullets at a much faster rate than the standard firearm. Okay. Let's actually have a think about our research. I'm going to pause the game a little bit. Okay, dynamite we're doing. Yeah, dynamite's good because dynamite is what lets us actually do the percussion. The cap. It lets us explosive shells for munitions plants, and that lets us just produce more. Yeah. So let's, yeah, I think dynamite was the choice we made some time ago. Now let's keep it that way, because munitions, regardless, yeah, they're already owned by capitalists. So this, this won't even have any societal impact. We'll just produce more, yeah, more lead, more explosives, more munitions. Actually, they're pretty cheap already, though. Okay, actually, okay, well, this is awkward now. Let's drop munitions down to the bottom. Oh, this is frustrating. Why is it such a big... why is the deficit quite so large? Not really sure I'm fully understanding this. Interest, 1,500. Okay, we're building up some major debt. Let's go buildings. Okay, let's go pause government construction, because we need to kind of deal with this. This is really expensive. Still, okay, small arms is now 2 points. They used to be 10,000. Okay, let's again check on our artillery. Artillery is reasonably priced now. Arms industries, cheap. Okay, actually losing money now. That's not great. That's not great. Munitions, still expensive. I mean, it's base price. Really surprised about this, to be honest with you guys. What can we do? Clothes, grain, services. I mean, we kind of need to... we need to do something, frankly. We're gonna have to price services and maybe groceries. Because I know it's gonna hit the middle class and the upper class. But that's life, guys. Oof, yeah, we did hit them. At least for the moment. And I know I've talked about this before. You don't want to like switch, you know, up and down. You don't want to turn things on and off. Romania wishes to enter in an alliance with us. Do you now? We still remember you, Wallachians. Okay, they have decent army projection. Could we see the Ottomans? Domestic diplomacy. There's still customs unions. Okay, sorry, yeah, they're not become custom unions with Austria-Hungary, actually, right? And Romania, what are you? Customs union with Austria-Hungary. Okay, so they left Russia and they're now part of Austria-Hungary. Austria-Hungary is an alliance with the Ottoman Empire. I mean, I'm just thinking, can we like gang up on the Ottoman Empire? Because we still want Montenegro and we still want Bosnia, right? We don't want Bulgaria necessarily, right? Yeah, that's not our priority. It's really two things we want from the Ottomans. These are all Romanians, and then actually our issue is much more with the Austro-Hungarians than with the Ottomans. Okay, but the Romanians, do they want... No, this is Bulgaria. They only want... Yeah, they might want Dobruja. Dobruja. Romanian Dobruja. Romanian Bessarabia. This is what? Russian Bessarabia. Bessarabia proper, so to speak. Yeah, there's a million Romanians here, but otherwise Romanians, they want kind of, yeah, they want these. But we got Serbs in Banat as well. Do we want an alliance with them then? Or will they actually be able to help? They are improving relations with Mexico, damaging relations. Italy are actively damaging relations with Romania. Defensive pact with Austria-Hungary. Owed obligations from Austria-Hungary. Oh, Italy. 6,600. We don't want to be dragged into anything to do with Italy. We want to just rebuild right now. Do we want an alliance with Romania? Question. I mean, it would be nice for us to get support from Russia, ultimately. Right, because we want to... How do we navigate this? I guess, yes, let's take an alliance, or... Diplomacy, action, alliance. I mean, nobody else particularly wants an alliance. Austria-Hungary have it with an obligation. I guess an alliance. Diplomatic pact between two countries. Countries engaged in an alliance may always side with each other in diplomatic plays, regardless of if the other side maintains an active interest in the affected strategic region. This applies no matter if the other country is the initiator or target. Yeah, so it basically allows you to participate in the plays targeting that country. Sorry, initiator or target of the player. So we kind of just always can have a say in whatever Romania does in terms of diplomacy. That's one benefit. So Italy is damaging relations. I mean, is Italy really going to like invade them? Can't really afford a war right now. I'm going to go ahead and decline, to be honest. We'll have time. When we turn on the Ottomans, right, to get Bosnia and Montenegro, our issue really with the Ottomans is that it would be Austria-Hungary, right? No one else. Romania isn't so much of an issue. Or do we just take this alliance right now? We want to be in an alliance with something like Austria-Hungary, so that then when we do a play for Ottoman Empire, they stay on the sidelines and just let us take a couple of these. That's what we actually want, I think. Okay, and we can actually get one if we offer them an obligation. Okay, let's go ahead and decline. Go ahead and decline. We still need, yeah, I'm not even sure if we will be able to. We need to fix our finances, get our country sorted out. Like, we're still declining. Oh, our GDP is taking a hit. We still need another tax. Fish, transportation. Okay, let's tax transportation because that hits middle and upper classes, right? While we're not even constructing anything right now, right? Yeah, we're still barely making ends meet. Why is this? Okay, it's again the goods for military buildings. Yeah, small arms are again. It's really the war. The Austro-Hungary has finished its war. They managed to hold on, by the way, to Lombardy, Venetia, South Tyrol. French bourgeois revolt started a revolution about to play against the French Republic. Okay. Oh. Dear guys, are you gonna force me to just put like taxes up for everybody? We're already paying 1.6k in interest. We need to stop. Yeah, but it's really goods for military buildings. Artillery. Arms. Okay. Munitions. 16%. Lead is expensive. Okay, well, we're building lead, right? Yep, there we are. Got the lead mines going. So we need to raise our GDP to increase minting. And the way to do that is to build profitable buildings. Okay, private sector is building stuff. Arts Academy, really. Jeune École unlocked. By having many smaller ships rather than a few big ones, it is possible to keep a certain level of maneuverability that would otherwise be impossible. Okay, we're building logging camps here. Okay, so price of wood coming down. Oh, I feel like we have to. I really don't know what's going on. It's okay, this is the cost of reunification. Like, we can't just keep watching this. We're not even building anything, by the way. Okay, let's just at least pay off the debt that we have already accumulated. And then we're gonna have to reduce the tax burden. Oh, unfortunately, this was almost 12, wasn't it? Yeah, our middle class got hit hard. Not gonna be happy about that. Okay, well, let's get our GDP growing, and then we'll see. Yeah, loyalists. Oof, radicals. Yeah, 143,000 from decreases in standard of living. Well, mostly peasants. Radicals by profession, peasants. Most are politically unaligned, which is good. But rural folk are getting angry. Orthodox Church is doing fine. Okay, well, look at... Oh my god, still we're eating through that surplus. Christ. Okay, let's just keep watching our finances. Again, this is up to like ludicrous levels, rather. Munitions. Not even all that expensive. Show government constructions. We really need lead. But we need to pay down that debt though. We also need those railways here, frankly. Where is this being built? Southern Serbia Arts Academies, really. Ah, the private sector. Okay, is coal expensive? Coal is not even that expensive. Tips and mortality of engineers, laborers, machinists. Wow. Yeah, so coal mines are pretty... Oh, wow, it's because of the nitroglycerin. Okay, well, we need to get dynamite in here. You know, fast. Nitroglycerin is not a great way. In fact, I'm gonna turn it off. Because I don't want these people dying. Nitroglycerin is just dangerous. We'll get it put in dynamite when we unlock it. Okay, but we are paying down debt. So that's a positive, because right now we're just eating up 1,500. Right, so almost like 50% of our budget, or like surplus, is taken by interest payments. Hopefully this is temporary and those military goods will come down in price. And the good news is that obviously it does, you know, let us profit from those. But yeah, but artillery is doing really well. Explosives. And it's odd because it keeps fluctuating. I don't want to switch. You know, this wouldn't be like the biggest. You know, okay, we'd lose these 500 shopkeepers and make them into capitalists. It wouldn't have a massive political effect. Oh, we need. Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. This is quite interesting. Petite bourgeoisie soared in its. Okay, that's good. It's interesting. Interesting, however, Orthodox Church has declined. Why can we not bolster them? Because we don't have the authority. It's because we're spending all of our authority on taxes. We do want to. Hang on. There we are. Okay, so we could first of all do this. Alright, keep those loyalists up. That is one thing we're going to do. Second of all, we're going to monitor the Orthodox Church closely, because we do not want, right now on the way down, it needs to drop below 18% for it to start being powerful. But we need it to be powerful to keep growing population. Yeah, that's a really good growth rate. Let's check migration. Oh my god, 20,000 per year. 20,000 plus. Okay, people are migrating from southern Serbia mostly, I'm guessing. Okay, but that's because I think that's because it's mostly peasants here. Right, there's no good jobs here. I'm not 100% sure what to do about that, because there aren't really that many good jobs to be had here. Munitions plants, to be honest, the ones we're building, arguably, okay, they're building more coal mines. Arguably, these munitions plants, where are they? We only just started building them, but you could say there is scope for munitions plants here. Unfortunately, we can't actually start building these ourselves, because it would cost us too much. Right, so I would put one munitions plant, put some lead mines. Let's see, lead mines, how are they doing? Lead is a little bit expensive, so I would probably, it's not too expensive though, we'd build munitions plants first, then lead mines. That is what I would do, but it just costs too much. Yeah, I want to pay down the debt first, give us some extra leeway in our budget, and then we start building. Yeah, and I guess we have two sort of pathways here. We either see how well we can integrate southern Serbia and build ourselves up. We're number 19, 300 prestige. We need 475 to be a major power. I feel like that could be our end game. Austro-Hungarian, Italian rivalry, French rivalry declared. Okay, not surprising. They have defeated the bourgeois revolt. Sulfur is again in short supply. Okay, our trade routes from Italy, fortunately it doesn't work. Okay, well, let's remove it then if it doesn't work. Egypt and Russia. It's not that it's Saxon market. Okay. And we'll get all the sulfur we can get. 4,500. So iron, wood, tools. Yeah, it's all pretty cheap. Iron is a bit expensive, but it's just because we're using a lot of it. It's not that it's actually expensive, yeah. Again, if we switched our construction, hang on, buildings. If we're not doing any of our own building, right, we could actually switch to steel frame buildings, perhaps. Glass would become a little bit steel. Could actually go ahead and do this. It's our private sector that would pay for this. But we do want to turn on our own construction as well. Let's just make sure we pay this down as fast as possible, so we're just wasting money. It would be nice to actually reduce taxes back to normal. But this costs us 5.7 thousand, wow. Yeah, it's a lot of A lot of tax. Okay, this has gone from 9 to 12, so maybe this has built up over time. Interesting. Yeah, the poll tax. Yeah, I think that must have... So when we got incorporated, it didn't just jump up. It got built up. So we got an extra 6,000. Yeah, that I believe in. 6,000 from these peasants, right? Representing his constituents in the petite bourgeoisie, Dejan Bazinovic has issued a formal petition to the Serb government to pass laissez-faire. Wow. Okay, we'll see what we can do. Let's have a look. Okay, so this is an economic system. Okay, 50% support. Who is opposing it? Rural folk oppose it. That's it. Not that we... Well, we actually care a little bit about rural folk because they're giving us 10% infrastructure. But let's see. So +1 max number of companies. Not particularly relevant. 75% private construction allocations. We'll rely on our private sector mostly. -25% loan interest rate. Okay. Yes, can subsidize infrastructure. Yes, can subsidize trade centers. Okay. Not too relevant. Subsidize infrastructure is nice. Yes, disallow downsizing non-government buildings. Yeah, that not big fan of, although it's fine. 25% capitalist investment pool and shopkeepers investment pool. A liberal economy founded on the principles of comparative advantage and that fewer government interventions means greater growth. Right now we're basically splitting our government and private construction 50-50. We can subsidize everything. To be honest, not sure. I mean, we need 4 years. Yeah, petite bourgeoisie will be really annoyed for us for 10 years if we do not pass this. Well, we kind of have to pass it then, right? Because, yeah, rural folk, everyone. I mean, this is, the petite bourgeoisie is super powerful. Why is it? Because their leader is a market liberal. Maybe we go back to interventionism if this guy dies. But this leader believes that the invisible hand of the free market should be the guiding force of the nation's economy. He wants commercialized agriculture as well. He wants free trade, child labor allowed, and laissez-faire. We do have an absolutely humongous investment pool built up, 9.6 million. So for example, right now, when we're not actually building stuff, we could switch to this, right? Let's try this at least. If we switch this and we're gonna, going forward, rely on private sector to build things for us, right? Right, so now like construction is, they're getting 20 construction. Private construction, 10 weeks left for coal mines, there we are. Okay, 9 weeks. But they're building like arts academies in southern Serbia. Like that is the kind of issues I have, to be honest. Okay. Traditional patronage means we get aristocrats, clerks, or we get bourgeois patronage, or independent artists, we get academics. Right. Let's do realist art then. Open hearth process unlocked. This is a special process to burn out the impurities from pig iron and thus allow it to turn into steel. Okay. Let's come back to this. Let's do realist art then, just so we produce more demand for paper, more art. Hopefully this will depress profitability of this thing and they stop building these, to be honest. I'm sure they built some here as well, haven't they? Of course they have. Let's do realist art. Okay, let's hire these. We do have aristocrats. I feel like I like the roleplay of that. We can basically either make these capitalists or academics. I mean, if we put these in academics, they would obviously support intelligentsia. Interesting. Okay, armed forces, we're gonna need to keep them at least above 5%. A good spot right now. Yeah, our trade unions are not making any trouble. Everyone else giving us all the benefits, none of the drawbacks. I do want to lower taxes, I genuinely do. However, we could also, let's say, If we resumed construction, how much would that cost us? That cost us a fortune. Yes, it would, it seems, right? Yes, it would cost us, no? Okay, we're still paying off that debt and we are constructing. Right, it is important to actually build things. Munitions plants. Okay, we do need munitions plants desperately. We need lead mines. Frankly, rather desperately. Could go with atmospheric pump engine, but I do want these peasants employed. That is what I frankly want very much. No, actually, let's do this. Because we want to, by building munitions plant, we decrease the price of the final product, which is what we're paying for, which is what's putting strain on our budget. Whereas by building lead mines, all we're really doing is making munitions plants more profitable. And putting money, right? So as munitions, because we've reduced the price of lead, we're not going to reduce the price of munitions. We're going to reduce profitability. So we're going to improve profitability. So let's go ahead and do that. Once we get dynamite, we'll actually further increase the production of munitions by simply switching to explosives. Right, we got percussion caps, so we'll switch to explosives. Right, so that will more than double. But I still want to build a munitions plant in southern Serbia just to give some jobs. So that's good. Okay, more arts academies, fine. Let's educate the people. Okay, they do want laissez-faire in 4 years though. Okay, can we hold off for like a year at least? Let's try to hold off for some time. Okay, coal mines fully employed. It's good. Right now, yeah, I don't want any production methods simply because I want all of these peasants gainfully employed and upskilled. That is what we want. We are paying off debt. It's good. How much do we have still? 800 in interest we're paying. Okay, but at least we're healthy now. Good population growth rate. There we go. GDP's rising again. Okay, standard of living unfortunately has taken a major hit. Major hit, guys, but what can I say? Still surprised. I think the Austrians must have built up their army, so we need to catch up and build up the arms industry. I'm still surprised though. I'm sure we were fine before we got a massive windfall from getting these guys online. So how are we now suddenly in deficit, even with all these consumption taxes and with higher taxes? I mean, we have built a couple of government administration buildings, that is true. In fact, we built one, to be honest, to ourselves. Right? We are constructing, fine, we're spending 7,000. Steel, glass, tools. Oh, hang on, actually. Oh. Language in the classroom. Turkish students sometimes use their native language in Serb schools. Some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of Serbia. Schools should teach them to speak the proper language. Yeah, 20% assimilation, 20% radicals from discrimination. No, we want more assimilation, yeah. We don't really care about the Turkish radicals, since they are probably politically unaligned, lower class anyway. We just want them to assimilate. And we do actually have the decrease running, right? Yeah, we do. Okay, we're suppressing turmoil here. Okay, this hopefully will improve. Tax waste, migration attraction. Because of this turmoil, states and cultures with turmoil contain radicals that are unhappy with their current circumstances. The amount of turmoil is equal to the fraction of the states or cultures' workforce that are radical. Okay, there's lots of people who are radical here apparently. You know what we could do? We do have secret police, don't we? Law -5%, -50% state, yeah. Law enforcement. We have dedicated police. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. That's going to cost us 40 bureaucracy, but we have that, and we'll reduce impact from turmoil and radical gains from standard of living decreases. Good. Okay, our budget is getting healthier and healthier, which is what we'd like to see. Okay, more arts academies. Amazing. Amazing, really good. Okay, more tool workshops in northern Serbia we're building. Okay. What I was gonna have a look at is our steel mills. Steel is a little bit expensive. Let's go to open hearth process. More coal and more iron. Right, Exxon would necessarily want the water tube boiler since we want everyone employed. Oh, we have 21,000. Well, I guess they're migrating. Yeah, they're migrating, so fine. That's okay. Anarchism unlocked. Wow. A political ideology promoting self-governance and opposition to authority. Anarchism seeks to do away with the state and other institutions which rule over people against their will, replacing them with voluntary associations. Well, let's see how well that goes for you. But okay. So look, we want dynamite, and then we'll rethink our research path. Okay, so GDP is surging, means we're minting more. Excellent. This is kind of when it's worth building buildings and going into debt. It is worth it when you're building such profitable buildings that they increase your GDP so much that you're taxing incomes, and you're minting. You're taxing income from pops that now have higher income. So when you're putting like peasants into higher skilled jobs, then it's kind of worth it. But it's still very hard, I find, personally, with like 20% interest rates to make it worthwhile in Victoria 3 to finance construction with debt. It's okay to go there temporarily, but otherwise, frankly, I find it's better to just find a balance where you are. Okay, we would decrease this by 6.2k. Okay, we'd roughly be breaking even. That's fine. That's kind of where we want to be. Let's try and get this interest out of here, get the economy growing, and then I want to switch, put more money back into people's pockets, as we promised, especially the poor. This will be good for us. Right? This is priority number 1. Hang on, let's pause. Dynamite unlocked. By applying a stabilizing agent to nitroglycerin, it is possible to make a much safer and more reliable explosive. Okay, excellent. Now, first, let's think about our research. What do we want then? Improved fertilizers. Mechanized farming. We don't really do that much farming. Rotary valve. That's basically... It's more of an automation tech that lets us consume less labor and more resources, but we have plenty of labor. We got plenty of labor. Don't really want shift work, vacuum cleaning, meat packaging for food industries, rubber. Do we want to like synthetic industries, make our own dyes and silk? Don't think so. We just want everyone employed right now. That's what we really want. Our military is about as strong as it could be. We can barely afford what we already have, frankly. Oh look, they seem to have... Okay, look, they seem to have switched it around in the 1.5.10. But yeah, like, I think we're okay without any further military research. Oh, they actually split this off. Okay, they've changed this around quite a bit now, because we had streamlined... Hang on, we had streamlining methods already in our barracks. So what, we just went back... Oh, advanced tactics training. This is frustrating. Okay, we do at least have trench... Oh, they must have changed something in the patch, guys. That's why... I feel like maybe that's why... Okay, this is going to increase wages, unfortunately, for officers. I feel like maybe they made these more expensive, and that's why... Yeah, this is definitely much more expensive now. 3 artillery and 3 ammunition. Yeah, okay. I see, guys. This is why we had a bit silly to do it. Well, I guess, yeah. We're just unlucky that we were in the middle of a playthrough. Okay, could have ruined our playthrough, frankly. But fine. Okay, I see. But we'll have a detailed look at this in the next playthrough. Like, I'm not gonna go over the changes now. But because military-wise, we could do wargaming. We're okay with everything else. Society-wise, what could we do? Philosophical pragmatism. We're okay for bureaucracy. Socialism, we don't want to go there. 5% prestige to help us become a great power. Corporatism. Compromise 10% radicals from standard of living decrease. A bit too late for that now. Max colonial affairs, human rights, compulsory primary school and children's rights. Identification documents. Do we have? I thought we had secret police. Home affairs. So we do have secret police, don't we? So it's revolution, political movement, radicalism, minus 5% suppression. So we could spend a bit of, but we can go up to level 4, so we don't necessarily need more levels. But hey, since we like have the bureaucracy, although, yeah, we're nowhere near a surplus. I feel like no, we don't want to go up and, yeah, we don't necessarily want to get secret police. We're gonna be running out soon, right? That means more administrative government administration is needed. That means more strain on our budget. I mean, a 5% prestige isn't really great. Corporatism, yeah, okay, maybe. Mutual funds. Mutual funds, this is what we need. We need 10% minting and minus 2% loan interest. This is what we need. This is exactly what we need. Okay, let's go ahead and unpause. Sorry. Actually, we invented dynamite. Dynamite means we go to coal mines. We put dynamite, right? Help our explosives industries. We get 250 engineers. We get plenty of coal. And also go to our munitions factories finally. Go to explosive shells. Let's go ahead and unpause. We could also go to iron mines. Okay, iron is a little bit expensive, but that's fine. Let's just go. Let's just put dynamite in. Right. Explosives factories. I do think, let's see. Ammonia, soda. We need even more sulfur. I would go ahead and do that. Just see how this develops. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, is this temporary or is this permanent? Well, this budget is just jumping about. 9,000. We're still building stuff, aren't we? Yeah, it's still just kind of taxing. I mean, on the other hand, it's good that we actually managed to wrestle southern Serbia, because otherwise we'd never be able to support this kind of army. I'm not sure if this is actually possible now with the new patch. Right? You need a much stronger economy. Right? It's a bigger difference in what's required. And I think that makes sense, to be honest. Like, I found that it was an obvious, like, you know, an obvious move to try to increase the tech of your battalions, right? Because the costs didn't actually move that much. Now it will move. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead to normal taxes. We are building up a bit of a, yep, right. Interest. No, we're still paying that down. Okay, fine. Let's keep paying that down. But let's go to normal taxes. Hopefully we manage to stay there. More money in the poorest pockets. Good. Right, it's always good. Embargo ended. Government petition closed. Okay. Dejan Bozovic retired. Okay, good. Good thing we didn't go with laissez-faire straight away. Alexander Karađorđević, known reformer. Head of Petit Bourgeoisie. Okay, but a reformer, not a market liberal. Compulsory primary school. Okay, I can get behind that. Property woman. Potentially. Cultural exclusion. Rather than national supremacy. Okay, let's first of all go untrained hands. Children working in the textile mills in northern Serbia have suffered injuries trying to operate the machinery used in production. We had that before. To be honest, we had quite a few of these incidents. Let's go keep children off the factory floor. Let's go ahead and see. Let's check how we're doing. We got a reformer, you know, in charge of the largest, most powerful group. So I feel like some reforms are in order. Industrialists are also pro-reform. In fact, we have quite a bit. Landowners even. Okay. So cultural exclusion or compulsory primary schools? Restricted child labor, compulsory primary school. Why can't we do this one? Human rights. Okay, restricted child labor. Reduce mortality. Reduce income for everybody, unfortunately. Okay, so that's a possibility, right? So I now have 30% dependence income. And the way this, guys, what this is, since it's a Let's Learn series, let's just go ahead and have a look. Who will this affect? This will in fact affect everybody almost, except upper strata, because for upper strata, aristocrats and capitalists dependents do not work, right? So if you go to aristocrats, right, their dependents are unemployed. Same goes for capitalists. There we are. They're unemployed. However, for everyone else, for example, the laborers, 1.93 million, of which 100,000 radical. We need to keep an eye on these guys and keep them loyal. You see, their dependents' income minus 10, yeah, currently reduced by 10%, but it has plus 30% from child labor allowed. This will be reduced to plus 15% bonus, but the base, I believe, is just a factor of a half of the wage. Of like the base wage. Wage is 458. Actually doesn't say so. But this on Victoria 3 Wiki, it says, I think this has changed now. I think this is maybe 0.25 now. Let me have a look. I mean, dependence wage is increased by 30%, but if we go, right, so 1.9 divided by 1.3, so it's actually 1,500. So I feel like it's without the bonus. So I feel like it's a third maybe of their wage. Yeah, it's about, yeah, like seems like a third of their wage. So this will basically decrease this piece. And that does play into the overall income of the pop and the net income, right? And therefore their standard of living. So that is one thing we could pass. What are the benefits? So we will reduce income, improve the education institution. And where are we without education? We're still level 1. Not that we need that. We're still education access and conversion. Yeah. Not sure we want to actually improve education access just yet. But it does give us +1 max education institution and reduces mortality from 5 to 3% for these dangerous, or for farmers, laborers and peasants. So we'll improve our population growth, which is frankly doing fine. So not sure. One interest groups actually supports restricted labor. No child permitted on the factory floor. Only labor unions actually want this. Everybody seems to have compulsory private schools. All children must attend several years of primary school during which they are prohibited from working, +2 max education. So this is kind of just, it will reduce dependents' incomes by 30%. But all it will do is let us raise literacy, right? Ultimately, our institutions, right? Okay, we will convert everyone to Orthodoxy, which is actually not a bad idea given how many Sunnis we have now, right? That we inherited from the Ottoman Empire. So actually the increased conversion is nice, but giving 30% education access to everybody is our literacy will shoot up. And with literacy shooting up, our birth rate will come down, which is not what we really want. Also, so I clicked on the wrong button, population-wise, for example, our laborers right now, they're already expecting a minimum of 7 because, right, even these guys, urban center in northern Serbia, they already have literacy of 25%, and that's going up. So education access is already 30%, even for the lowest strata, right? So that's 20 from techs and 10% from the religious schools. This will go up to like 40% with more schools, and then 50. Yeah, that's a little tricky. We need more economic growth first, frankly, before we can offset the wage decreases You know, this seems like a good idea. I mean, I'd love to put children in compulsory school, but the reality is we'll decrease wages, decrease income for pops, because we lose 30% dependence income. We will improve, will reduce mortality rate, therefore improve the differential with birth rate and improve pop growth for, yeah, the biggest part of our population, which is laborers and peasants, really, and then machinists and farmers. However, we will increase literacy, which will reduce birth rate for everybody. We will also increase minimum expected standard of living by like a point, at least for everyone, which will make people radical. We will improve tech spread, right? But we don't have many like universities anyway, so we're okay with the cap on direct research. Yeah, so overall, I'm not a big fan of compulsory schools right now. I mean, not that we have a lot of time left. But what was the other? The other thing people want is to do racial segregation rather than national supremacy. People have gotten tired of national supremacy. What is it? Foreign cultures are discriminated against unless they share both heritage and language or other customs. We get 150 authority and minus 50% radicals from standard of living decreases in accepted cultures. If we go to racial segregation, foreign cultures of different heritage are discriminated against. Of different heritage, right? So this wouldn't really, I don't think this would change much. Because right now our population is mostly what? If we go cultures, it's mostly Bulgarians. Right, it's really the Turkish people. Yeah, it's mostly Serbs. The reason we discriminate against some Serbs is because they're Sunni. Right, if we go Serbian, right, yeah, we're discriminating against Sunnis, so we just want them converts. Otherwise, we're actually okay. Greeks, we are okay. So Turks, we will Middle Eastern. So we'll still discriminate against Turks, even with racial segregation. Why? Because their cultural traits are Turkic and Middle Eastern heritage, right? So Bulgarians would never discriminate, even with national supremacy, because they're both Yugoslav and European heritage. They're just like us, basically, we think, right? Albanians, they have European heritage, so we wouldn't discriminate against Albanians, I don't think, with racial segregation. But because they have cultural traits, Albanian language, we will discriminate against them. They're also Sunni, so we'll still discriminate. Like Greeks, we won't discriminate if we go racial segregation. No, in fact, they're still Sunni. Dearie me. Turmoil. I mean, it would help to like decrease turmoil. We don't really want like 27.5% turmoil. I mean, it would make sense. To be honest, what would make sense is to move to freedom of conscience. But freedom of conscience, that would only accept shares a trait. So we accept Catholics, but we wouldn't accept Sunni. To accept Sunni, we need total separation. So it's going to be a bit hard for us not to discriminate. People do want racial segregation, cultural exclusion even. This movement to enact cultural exclusion is demanding the enactment of this law. Okay, we do have a movement, so it's 68% chance. Everyone seems to like it. We get less authority. We do get more loyalists and radicals. However, all pops... Everyone supports this. Foreign cultures with nothing in common with your primary cultures are discriminated against. Foreign cultures with nothing in common. Yeah, which would still be Turks. Like, that is the issue. This doesn't really benefit us. Cultural exclusion support medium. We would create 110,000 loyalists and stop creating radicals. So I feel like, okay. I mean, fine. We are now like, well, I wouldn't really say we're a multi-ethnic country, to be really honest. We're still 95% Serbian. So is it realistic that we would do this? Is that immersive? Let's have a think. We do have a reformist in the party, but I just kind of feel like national supremacy works pretty fine for us. This will make us lose 100 authority. and more loyalists and radicals. Actually, fewer. Well, yeah, fewer radicals. No, more radicals and fewer loyalists. Right, so minus 5% radicals from standard living decreases, which means we're going to get more radicals, and only plus 5% loyalists, so fewer loyalists. It will be hard to build loyalty. I mean, people do want it. Sure, neither are a great option. Neither nationals, you know. This would create like 110,000 loyalists though straight away and stop. Yeah. I guess law enforcement increased. So Orthodox Church opposed. Oh wait, hang on. This is bad as well. So this is not supported by the Orthodox Church. They would go minus 10 from 15 to 5. No. We can't lose our... I mean... Supports movement to enact cultural exclusion. Cultural... Right. Hang on. Sorry. Supports movement to enact cultural exclusion. So, okay. But the reality, this guy's a theocrat. They want state religion. Oh, this is a little complicated. I mean, do we need this 5% birth rate now? I mean, do we really? We kind of do, because we want to increase taxes. We want to keep our labor market like full of people to work. We do. I mean, we have 100,000. That's not that much, to be honest. So I do want to kind of resist. And the more people we have, the less taxes we can have for everybody, the higher the standard of living for everybody. So frankly, I'm not like in love with this. 850 per month. Tooling workshops fully employed. Okay. We're building more lead. So we have dynamite here. Booming industries completed. With the recent expansion in both the production and consumption of explosives in our country, there has been a much debate on whether the military or the industrial sector should have priority. Why should we worry about how much dirt we can move when we should be thinking about how to defend our country? All you care about is starting more wars. We should put this to use for our workers instead. They are more important. We should try and support both industries, 33% fertilizer plant building throughput, or give the industrial sector, or give the military sector. Iron, sulfur, lead, coal. Let's give the industrial sector the priority, I guess. Throughput, but it's kind of... Or maybe we'll just go with fertilizers. Let's have a look how our fertilizer's doing. And to be perfectly honest, we're kind of doing fine everywhere. Fine, let's give it 20% to all the like coal and iron, etc. Fine, let's do that. So we have lead being built next. It's already pretty cheap though. So it's a bit controversial whether we need these lead mines. Do we need these railways? Yes, very much so. We need railways in northern Serbia before we build anything else in northern Serbia. Food industries, government administration, definitely towards the end. Munitions plants towards the end, even further down. Steel. Yep, what are we building? Motors in southern Serbia. Okay, that's good. Southern Serbia, southern Serbia. So we don't necessarily need railways just yet. We could actually build steel mills and then railways, because we do have just a little bit more infrastructure. But actually, guys, we're gonna reach January 1st, 1915, and I just saw that we went past the hour again. But yeah, hopefully you're enjoying it still, but we're going to have to make a cut here. January 1st, 1915. So yeah, end episode 23 here. I hope you're enjoying it, hope you're learning from it, and you're finding it entertaining. Yeah, let's make a cut here. Thanks a lot for watching again, guys, as we're nearing the end. But yeah, still interesting to integrate southern Serbia. Let's see. Yeah, once we're almost done, I think, fixing our budget. So we still have 20 years of the game. It is still possible to get Yugoslavia, in theory. But for now, thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Bye.